A North Carolina man moves to Mexico for love, or as alleged, a romance scam, only to be found unalived months later. This is today's story. Frank Mazziotti, a business owner from Charlotte, North Carolina, left his wife of 11 years and their dream home to pursue a romance with Lucia, a woman living in Mexico whom he met on an app called Clubhouse. Clubhouse is a social media app where users share audio clips instead of text posts. The company describes itself as a, quote, new type of social project based on voice, where, quote, people everywhere can talk, tell stories, develop ideas, deepen friendships, and meet interesting new people. According to WB-TV Charlotte, Frank Mazziotti's mother, Louise Mazziotti, got a late-night call in August from her 44-year-old son's new wife in Mexico. The call was devastating news. Frank had unalived himself, his mother was told.
She said, I don't know how to tell you this, but she said, Frankie killed himself. And I said, no, what are you talking about? And I just kind of went all to pieces when I realized she was being serious.
Frank's older brother, Michael Godfrey, said he believes he uprooted his life for love, but instead, he ended up being unalived.
He was looking for somebody to love him. He went down there for love, and he ended up being killed.
As one can imagine, the entire situation was devastating, and his mother tried to get him to rethink and give himself time.
I told him, I said, Frankie, I have a bad feeling about this. I said, I don't think you should do this. I think you should give yourself time. He said, well, she keeps telling me how much she loves me and how much she can't live without me.
As the family tried to make plans to go to Mexico to bury him, the U.S. Embassy urged them not to come.
It was just way too dangerous for Americans to come there now because a lot of Americans were missing at this point.
The U.S. State Department classifies the area where Frank died as a do-not-travel-to place, citing crime and kidnapping risks. Not only could the family not go to Mexico, they learned Frank's body had already been cremated, despite a law that should have prevented exactly that.
It's just something that I feel like I've been in a nightmare. I just can't believe it.
The details of Frank's death continue to prove difficult to track down. The U.S. consulate in Matamoros reports the prosecutor's office in Mexico concluded his death was a suicide. They cite findings of chemicals on his right hand, showing it had been used to discharge a firearm and an entrance wound on the right side of his head. However, the consular report of death abroad lists Frank's death as an accidental or violent death.
There's no way he killed himself. That was the hardest thing I've ever done, is look at my son like that.
While the mystery into how he died may never be solved, the family believes Frank is the victim of a romance scam. They hope Frank's story is a reminder to be cautious of who you meet online.
Frank's ex-wife of 11 years created an Instagram page in memory of her ex-husband, where she's fighting to get justice for Frank Mazziotti. If you or someone you love has been a scam victim, contact the Identity Theft Resource Center via their phone number, 888-400-5530, or through their live chat,